your Shuruaat in filmmaking. I mean, your first film, what was that experience like?
My first film took many years to make. It took around 4 years to make actually. I was very lucky to have been given a film to direct because I had not worked as an assistant or to any filmmaker, neither had I any experience with film actually. So I was very lucky to get a break. Mr. Sunny Deol was responsible to give me a film to direct, but it took 4 years. And I had never been to film school, so that film for me was film school.
When you decided to be a part of Shuruaat,
Yeah.
come on board as a mentor, what is it that excited you about Shuruaat?
What excited me is the concept of having different people direct in one viewing. So many people directing short films in a collection of films like that and to be released theatrically is something which I am very interested in. There was this concept that existed many years back, and I really wanted to watch that one particular Hindi film that was made when I was a kid. And I couldn't watch it, and then whenever I got this drift of seeing Paris Jatame, I Love Paris, or New York Stories and stuff like that, then I was interested in that. The other thing is that I have also been associated with Vinay and Preeti's company, which is Hamara Movies, and these are friends, and their intention is to stoke the fire in young filmmakers, bring them forward to become the filmmakers of tomorrow. So that intention is very nice, and I laud it, and I want to participate in that.
Why did you pick Satish as your...
Well, the picking of people was also based on availability. I wanted to work with somebody who has worked with me, but at the same time is ready to make his own something. Satish has been talking to me about all the various stories that he's writing and trying to direct, and he came up with this story. So it just turned out that he was doing it, and there are other people who have assisted me in the past. And I wanted that it should be one of them so that they get a chance to do something which is showcased in a nice way, and that they can move forward in their lives. So it happened to be Satish. Satish has worked with me on Rockstar and on Love Aajkal and Jab We Met, these 3 films.
What do you think as an audience should expect from Satish? Something equally crazy?
Satish, no, but see, the fact is that it's not necessary that a mad person like Satish makes only mad films. It's not necessary. There are some people who make very nice movies and very practical and simple looking films, but are actually pretty crazy. I don't know whether Satish will turn out to be like that, but his film is very balanced. His ultimately the vision that comes out of that movie is very balanced. And it's very particular. But one thing that I think one should expect from Satish as a viewer is that there will be something very specific, and there'll be something very, his point of view is very unique. So he would have seen something in a very unique manner and he'd bring it out in a unique manner. For instance, even in this film, there are so many things. The storyline itself is something that is unique, and of course then the way he set it, the fact that it was in the northeast of India where nobody goes to shoot, that the people were Easterners, who usually don't find place in mainline Hindi films. Those are things that are very, again, specific, unique and interesting. So I think you can always expect that from Satish.
Since you've known Satish for so long and he's worked with you so many times, how much of your influence do you think has been there on his films and films?
I don't know. I don't know whether there has been any influence of my working style on him. It's very difficult to calculate that. That's something that other people can sense, because firstly I don't know what my working style is, and so I don't know, and I've not seen him working, so I don't know whether he organizes things or he does not, or he makes the same mistakes that I do. So difficult for me to say.
So what was the process of mentoring Satish? Like, I mean, are there certain things you guys did or planned or didn't do?
So I told Satish that the film will always be his and not mine, and I'd be a bounce board and try to strengthen him in areas that he thinks that he needs strength. So what he then did is that he bounced off his stuff at every stage with me. For instance, at the story, then I said, yeah, story is awesome. He narrated me the story, so I said, then he wrote the script, and then he kind of narrated it to me. Then he went to shoot. He discussed his shooting plan, his music plan. So I was giving him ideas really. I was not doing anything on the ground. I never went on the shoot, and I never met anyone in the team. I only met Satish. So he would come with some specific things that music is like this, and this is what I'm planning, and I want to call it this, and then he showed me the rough cut after shooting. So at every stage I was just a bounce board actually. And there are certain things in which I was a little more particular to say that tu aisa kar dena, because there is a, maybe you're not seeing it, but I tried to convince him a little hard on certain points, but otherwise I just was a bounce board.
Convincing hard part, how does that work? Does it make it easier if you guys have worked before?
Yeah, of course, because I mean, we work together, so he understands my intention, I understand his intention, I also understand that there are what will make sense to him, and it's not as though I would like to convince him something which he doesn't or ultimately see the point of. You can only get convinced if you see the point and realize that, acha, okay, I was not getting it earlier, this is the point. Otherwise, the other person gets convinced. So we have a very, good equation. We know each other. So it's not as though, and one thing is very certain, we are all here because we want to make films and make better films, and for no other reason. So we know that about each other.
Like, in Shuruaat, apart from you, there are 6 other mentors as well. Mr. Sham Benegal, Meera Nair, Zoya Akhtar, etc. From these 6 other directors, if you like, who is one director you really like, or whose work?
I mean, out of all these directors, most of them are friends, and I consider them as worthless as I am. Sham Benegal is a huge influence on me, and I have seen his films while growing up, and I have always liked every film of his. I think I've grown up thinking he's some sort of a magician. And his stories are so tight, his characters are so real, and yet so, I would feel, populist. I feel that the cinema at that time was segregated into 2 bits, and he fell into the art film category. But I think his nerve is that of a popular storyteller, because his stories are always interesting. They never bore you. Junoon and Mandi and Susman and all his films.
Plus, when you have such 7 different mentors and 7 equally different directors, when that package, the anthology, comes together, again, how do you think that kind of an experience will be for viewers?
I would like to see the influence of the various mentors, because I know all of them as filmmakers. I would like to see what they have done, what those trains are. Can I detect anything? Like you said, what is the influence of me on Satish? I don't know, but maybe like if Zoya watches this film, she says, this Imtiaz must have said, or this I understand because I see this in Imtiaz's films. So I'd be very happy to see what is there in Meera Nair's assistant's film, or whoever she guided, his film or hers film, or what Arunima has done. I know her personally, but also what Homi must, if there's a reflection there, I'd be interested in that.